is that exact IP match of 192.168.1.1. Alright, let's move on to our next mask. We're going to, as you can tell down here, we're going to peel back by octet each time. The next one, 0.0.0.255. Again, recall back to our IP address lessons, a 255 illustrates 8 ones in this octet. So this is our answer. With the zeros, 192.168.1, those first three octets must match exactly. And you can see that they do with our IP address. Now this is where it gets interesting, and this is the cool part of our tool. In the fourth octet, we can have any value from 0 to 255. 10, 11, 29, whatever number you can think of between 0 and 255. And that is because here we ignore every one of these bits. Alright, I think it's probably starting to sink in, so let's continue. Alright, the mask we use now, 0.0.255.255. Apply it to our IP address, and we get 192 and 168 must match exactly. The next two octets, represented by ones, can be any number from 0 to 255 dot any number from 0 to 255. Our next example, if a mask is 0.255.255.255, the one octet that must match exactly is 192. After that, dot 0 through 255 any number, and so on for the next two octets. And then finally, if we have a mask of 255.255.255.255, that means, because they are all ones, we ignore every bit that is there, and we permit any IP address between 0 to 255 in every octet. And you can see here, essentially what that means is anybody will match this line. And you use that for a permit, if you want to permit everybody after a couple of lines of deny. Or the other way around, after a couple of lines of permit, if you want to deny everybody, you would use this any command. And there is a shorthand in the router to let you do that. And as you see up here, same for the host. And recall when we were looking at the access list command a moment ago, you did see these shorthand options available, and we used one in our examples of any. Alright, let's drive this home a little bit. Here's an example. First of all, let's start with our command. Access-list 99, standard access list. Permit is going to be our action. Again, permit or deny are the two choices. The IP address that we're going to use as a key is 192.168.17.65. What I have done is I've put the binary equivalent here on this line. This 8-digit representation for binary equals the decimal 192. This 8-digit representation equals the equivalent of 168 in decimal. This is 17, and these 8 digits equal 65. Recall from our IP addressing how that works. If you don't, I'll give you a quick example. Remember, these places are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. So the two bits that are turned on are 128 and 64. When you add those up, 192. Alright, the next important piece, and again the fire behind our tool, is the mask. Our mask is going to be 0.0.255.255. All zeros in the first octet, all zeros in the second octet, because we see them here. .255, that's all ones here. And the reason for that, just a quick explanation again, the placeholders are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Add all those together because they're all turned on, and you get a decimal value of 255. Same thing for the fourth octet. Alright, so let's obey our rules that we printed earlier. A 0 must match. So bring everything with a 0 in the mask down.